Hello YouTube. This is part 2 of Operation Tailwind from July 1953. This is the after-action report from the Air Defense Command on Operation Tailwind. I want to discuss the flight paths of some of the bombers that are mentioned in this after-action report of the Air Defense Command here today. As discussed in part 1 of my reading of excerpts of this report and other reports. Now, while I do not have all the bomber wing unit histories from the Air Force or from the National Archives on this report, the majority of what I read was from this report and from several bomber wing units like the 2nd Bomber Wing and the 376 Bomber Wing and the 72nd Strategic Reconnaissance Wing unit histories on their participation in Operation Tailwind here. I don't have the other than this after-action report, the full picture, but I really just want to focus on the where the bombers came from on the eastern seaboard on July 11th and July 12th on this, because I'm focusing mainly on eastern seaboard activities of this. So I don't have all the bomber wing unit histories to trace out all the flight paths of each individual sets of bombers yet. So it's kind of hard to do when the National Archives and the Air Force are essentially closed due to COVID-19. So we have on July 11th here, E+2 day, how the Strategic Air Command essentially attacked the eastern seaboard from the ocean here in a mass raid 3 hours earlier than initially planned. From this, as we can see, the eastern seaboard, they went as far out in as Toledo and Chicago on their attacks. They completely swamped the system here in this mass raid. Sets of B-46, B-50s, and B-36s at various altitudes here from this report on Operation Tailwind. So this is the B-50 strikes. They were able to figure out what bombers flew where and when on July 11th, and that so you have a set of 6 main things for the B-50s and where they were attacking on this B-50 aircraft on July 11th here. Also on July 11th, this looks like the B-36s, their attack flight paths during the exercise and where they attacked too. So that's the B-36s on July 11th, 1953, where they're. And then we have the mass raid of B-47s along the East Coast, completely swamping and saturating the radar screens of that. In addition to all this at various altitudes, you also had the civilian airliners in the air along with all these bombers, completely saturating the radar screens and that during this exercise, even though it was taking place essentially at 3 o'clock in the morning on July the 11th. This is a mass raid, and the system completely swamped, completely ineffective by this mass raid of Operation Tailwind SAC B-47 bombers here. So this is also the electronic countermeasure bombers, also on the July the 11th of 1953, where they attacked on New York and Boston, Philadelphia, and that. So that was their main force there for the Eastern Air Defense Force. And then you had the two branches of diversionary aircraft here during this exercise, along with this. So they'd go in, come into the coast, and then pull back, is essentially what these diversionary attacks did. And they were essentially unmolested. So, interesting. And then you had, later in the afternoon, you had the B-29 radar calibration squadrons coming out of Canada, attacking Boston and New York later in the afternoon on July the 11th, doing ECM radar jamming things here. So that was, the 9th and the 11th there. So that was those radar things, radar jamming late afternoon. So that is my take on the Operation Tailwind Part 2. So if you like this video and you like what I show in this history, well, I don't have all the individual bomber wings. I wish I did. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of hard to get those histories, as they're not identified. The specific bomber wings are not identified in the after action reports. What bombers flew what routes. So I have to use what I could get a hold of with the 2nd Bomber Wing, the 376, and the 72nd Bomber Wing units that I could get a hold of from the Air Force in my research. There are several other bomber wings I've identified with this, but I have not been able to get a hold of them due to the Air Force declassification staff at Maxwell cutting its FOIA staff and declassification staff on this. So, or getting to the National Archives, which has been closed since March. So to get a fuller picture of what bombers flew on what routes is at this point of research technically impossible, because either the Air Force doesn't have the staff or the National Archives are completely closed. So I can only do with report what research I've been able to find on this exercise. So that's that. So if you like my little synopsis of this exercise and the attack on July 11th and 12th, 1953 of this, please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks. Bye.